segment. Post Credits is the segment where we cover movies, TV, entertainment, and all the good stuff that surrounds it. I'm your co-host, Nolan Chang, and with me as always are my longtime friends and co-hosts, Kieran McKee, Jalen Holston. Say what's up to the crowd.
What's up, crowd?
What's up, you
How you feeling today? You feeling white?
I've been better.
Feeling like you can't jump? Wow. Bet you do. Not us. Not us. Oh, man.
So how are you guys doing today? It's been so long since I've seen you.
Yeah, pretty solid. Not as sore as I thought it was going to be from the tourney yesterday, so feeling good heading into Dallas.
That's a win. That's a win in itself.
That is a win.
Yeah.
I'm good. I just got off of work, so.
More tight than sore, you know what I mean? So it's, I'd rather, just tight, you know?
It's all I got.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, we have a few things that we're going to cover today. A lot of kind of just news that kind of popped up that we're going to do some quick hits on. We're going to go over the Killers of the Flower Moon, which is the movie for Apple Studios, which is going to be releasing in theaters first and then to the streaming service. We're going to go over the Five Nights at Freddy's teaser trailer that they released for the adaptation of the game. We're also going to cover Air, the Nike movie, or the movie regarding Nike's signing of Michael Jordan in '84, starring Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And we're going to give a quick little kind of, I guess you could say review, maybe recommendation regarding the remake of White Men Can't Jump, currently on Hulu, the streaming service. So starting off, the first thing that I kind of wanted to touch with you guys was for Disney Plus, they kind of gave some specific dates and means of release for the next 3 shows, which of course we've talked about before. Secret Invasion will be June 21st. We have Loki releasing on, I believe it was October 6th, which will be a week-to-week release. And then Echo will be released all at once on November 29th. We kind of want to throw it out there. If it is just going to be released all at once for Echo, what does this mean for the show?
Probably means it's awful.
What? Who would have saw that coming, right?
Because if
Everyone
Disney had
loved
any
Echo.
faith at all, they would do it how they've been doing it, week to week.
Yeah.
So this tells me that show is so bad, they want to tear it off like a Band-Aid and just get it out there.
It's funny because I know that we're all not really expecting much from it, but I almost wonder if they're trying to do to see if it's a plausible the idea for like future shows where you drop the whole thing and see how viewership goes with it. Like, because Netflix does it a lot and they seem to have shows that like people,
Still
even though they
talk
drop the
about
whole thing.
regardless.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're
Yeah.
still so good that but yeah, I'm also with Jay. I do think that it's probably not a good sign.
They say it's an experiment to test.
Unfortunately, we're probably going to still watch it. So
Yeah, we'll probably
Well,
watch
Daredevil
all.
allegedly might show up in it.
I know.
I
See, that's
mean,
why.
there's
And then they
that.
drop
Would you
nuggets
really
like
be surprised
that.
if
where
he
you
showed
have
up in
to-
it, though?
No.
I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise, but it's kind of in his realm, and I feel like there definitely have been some leaks about it. So I mean,
If you want to get people
you know.
interested in any way possible, adding in Charlie Cox as Daredevil would be it.
I gotta say too. I think it's just. I mean, it doesn't help that she doesn't really have like much of a hype train behind her. It's not like she had like the greatest performance in the show before.
I just want to know. I want to be in that writers' room or the discussion meeting room. Like, who was the guy that raised their hands? Like, Echo show. People gonna love it. They loved her in Hawkeye. This is the one.
And that's the
It's
thing.
just-
Like, I did enjoy the actress that played her. I thought she did.
Yeah,
well, but like,
yeah.
I just don't need an entire show. for
Show,
that character.
yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just
Right.
not. You know,
Right.
give me more of Kate Bishop, or give me more of that.
Things are best as just a
show
side dish.
where she has some substance now that she's moved on from
Honestly,
being a tutor of.
I was thinking about this the other day. I would have been so down for almost like a buddy cop deal with Yelena and Kate Bishop. Like
That would be fun.
That would be lit.
yeah,
Haley
like
Steinfeld.
have them do
and-
stuff around New York. Yeah, just like
That'd be great.
yeah, an extended version of that whole apartment scene where they were like going back and forth with their witty banter. I thought that would have been so much better than
Yeah, that was
a
definitely a
full
highlight from
blown.
that show. Even though
Yeah. Hmm.
we were hoping for more of that out of that show, but it of all the things that were good about the show, I wouldn't say Echo was the top of the
Yeah.
list.
It's funny because I
I
haven't
would
seen it in
branch
such
out
a
to.
while, in such a long time. I thought about it like I was like, maybe I'll just rewatch it around Christmas time again since it's like a Christmas
Yeah.
themed show. And
I still think
just
it was one of their more solid shows. Like Haley
yeah, I was
Steinfeld
like,
and
I
Jeremy Renner
didn't hate it
definitely
as much as
carried,
the other one. Yeah.
you know,
It
but
was cool.
yeah,
Hmm.
I
it was
wouldn't
a
say it was
good
like
Definitely won't
the
rewatch
best.
Miss Marvel.
100% never again will that show graze my eyes. That's,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
Just you wait.
Uh,
We'll rewatch it
Nope.
for the memories. No?
I'm going to
Okay.
Watch
probably
it be the
not
most highly requested show for us to rewatch just because people like
want to see us
hate
If
us.
you
miserable.
out there
Yeah.
listening
Yeah.
to us, you know we don't like this show. Don't do that to us.
Yeah.
Um, Next thing I kind of want to touch on, kind of within the Disney Marvel realm, for Deadpool 3, it was released or it was announced that Brianna Hildebrandt, which was
Mhm.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and Shioli Kutsuna, who was Ki- what is it Kimiko? No, it's
Kimiko. Yeah. I
no
think.
Kimiko, yeah.
Yukio.
Yukio.
Yukio. Huh. We're not
Oh, yeah, it
assuming
was
anything.
Yuki. Yeah, yeah. It was, yeah.
But yeah, they
Hey,
have been
Natsukarina. Just like it's like keep going down all these things.
they've been announced to return for Deadpool 3.
Thank God.
Was this kind of, expected, or was this something that you were like, oh, I mean, good thing that they announced it, but I was assuming they were in it already?
I didn't expect them to be in it. I didn't care. I just wanted Deadpool 3. I don't really care at this point. Like, yes, great. It's more of just cherries on top. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
For me, like that's yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
yes.
say,
All
yeah,
the
I was
things.
kind of on the same train of not expecting it, only for the fact that Disney took it over. So I thought maybe they might,
Rights issues or
clean
something.
slate the
But
whole
they
deal and not
overfucked.
bring anybody back. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if any more of the people from. I mean, there's so many people heavily rumored for this movie, so I am just so curious how many cameos we're gonna get in this film. Yeah, man.
I feel like Deadpool's just going to kill all of them.
Like,
Right?
I
imagine
am
we get
not gonna be
a
mad
Chris
at
Evans,
a
Johnny Storm, like
Ooh, boy.
just
alternate
something like,
universe, and we just
yeah.
kill them both.
I'm
I'm
just
You
down
get
saying.
for
Miles
this being the
Teller's
adaptation.
Reed show
Yes.
up as well.
Whoa,
Right?
that would
I
be
really
dope.
do think that's where they're going. Is they're gonna do the adaptation of Deadpool kills the Marvel universe. That's such
I'd
a
be with
great
it.
run.
Hmm. I'd
And
be
what better way
100%
than
with it.
Kevin Feige just being like, we bought you guys and we're getting rid of all of you. Only
Yeah.
one worth keeping is Logan. And that's it.
Like, I think the other thing is just it's kind of like a good sign that possibly we may have more rated R films if they do
That would be
keep the
great.
rating.
I
That would be
mean,
I'm
hey,
great.
we
just
get an
saying.
F bomb. And maybe this was their kind of segue, like, all right, Deadpool, let her rip.
Not
Yeah.
everything, you know what I mean? Like, not everything has to be rated R or like super over the
But
top, but
Deadpool
like,
does.
yeah,
Deadpool
yeah, like
does.
that one. I
That
mean,
one's a
maybe we get
Punisher
like,
too. I don't understand how they're gonna
yeah,
try to remake the
yeah,
show in this little cute
yeah.
like TV 14
Like, I'm
bubble.
hoping the entire run of like Blade, Punisher, all those shows, it just has like a R-rated universe that we're just like,
I
you know,
think Blade's
working
kind of
through.
one of those like Daredevil. He doesn't have
Have
to
to, yeah,
be
no, I
rated
agree, I
R.
agree
You
with
can
that,
get
yeah.
away with maybe a PG 13,
Hmm.
but
But
like
making it a little
Punisher,
darker
absolutely not.
might. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what the. We don't even know what the writer's written so far because they keep the strike and they keep changing
Yeah,
writers. And
Jesus.
Mahershala Ali is going to be like 10 years older by the time this
he
movie
was, I think
comes
they said
out.
he was 49 when they announced it. And he's now
Oh,
50.
man.
Or
Dude,
no,
this
it
isn't
was
gonna get.
45 when they announced it. He's now 49.
It's like, I
Yeah,
know black don't crack, but I mean, eventually, I
you
mean,
still gotta move, man.
I know,
Like,
I'm like,
how much longer before he just says, like, look, guys, you're not holding up your end of the deal. I'm out.
I would do it.
now,
I would
given
do it
that,
already.
there are a lot of talented black actors out there that are younger. If they end up do going, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
no,
they
that's true.
have to recast, but let's hope for this Mahershala Ali one to hurry the hell up. So,
They
yeah.
snipe
Agreed.
Michael B. Jordan instead. And that is an absolute banger of a Blade if I've ever seen one.
So
Holy shit.
Killmonger just doesn't exist?
Exactly.
Or,
Exactly. He's
um,
dead. Nolan. He's dead.
I don't think that's really
Nolan,
how that.
he's dead.
He's dead.
Who played him?
It doesn't
Dead.
matter.
No, I'm just joking.
He's
It doesn't
dead.
matter. It doesn't
The
matter.
character is dead.
So
He can come back as something else.
he comes
If
back
that's
as
the
a
case,
vampire.
isn't Chris
We
Evans
have
supposed to be
AI now.
Johnny Storm? Huh?
No, I'm just joking.
Isn't Chris Evans supposed to be Johnny Storm? Was he
Different
doing
studios.
Was he doing
Silly
dressed as
goose.
Captain America this whole time? Huh?
Different
Think about
studios. Silly
think about
goose.
that? You think about that?
Huh? Huh?
No,
Huh?
you didn't.
All right. Well, then if that's the
Put that
case.
one
Then
up in your
Michael B.
brain.
What
Jordan is
about
also
Gemma
Johnny
Chan?
Storm as well.
Yeah.
What about Gemma Chan? She
Yeah,
was in
what
two
about
different films.
She was blue in one. Obviously, different character. Silly.
Huh.
She was blue in one. It's like
I don't even remember what her name was in that one, but
I don't think she
obviously
even. I almost feel like she didn't even have a name. It was probably like Grunt 3 or something. I
she
don't
was just some
even know.
angry
Yeah.
lady who didn't
Like
like
Soldier number
Brie Larson.
5. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to the next bit of news. This is a random one that popped up on my feed that I thought we'd kind of touch on. Obviously, all of us here are viewers of the original Karate Kid series, correct? Well, it appears the remake that was starring Jaden Smith is going to be getting a sequel. Don't know if he's going to be returning, but apparently Jackie Chan is in talks to return as Mr. Han in Karate Kid 2.
Yeah.
That would make me assume that Jaden's coming back, and it's not Karate Kid, it's Kung Fu Kid, from what I fucking recall.
Right?
It's
Because that doesn't
bunch
really
of
make
horse
sense
shit.
for it to be a Karate Kid. It's
Can't
not
do karate.
karate.
That's literally fucking Kung Fu. That's not.
Yeah.
Pretty
Same.
sure we're going to get. I'm going to assume it's going to be like a new version with maybe a female lead.
Maybe.
Probably a female.
Kind of
lead.
like a what was it, Karate
Hillary
Kid 3?
Swank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be Jaden again. Just
I'm waiting for Hilary
He's
Swank
looked
to
past
come
that.
into Cobra Kai. Like, what is the holdup here? Like, that's the last bit of Miyagi that they.
yeah, that would have honestly that
dip
would have been
into.
kind of cool to just have him drop in there.
You
What
know,
if Jackie Chan shows up in Cobra Kai?
technically he's in the lore universe, so I mean, it's not.
Boom.
It is funny because it's funny you say that, but I was like, man, he is like way too good for that show.
He would the choreo in that show would have to go. Way
Yeah,
up for
thousand
Jackie Chan
levels
to
up
show
there.
up.
He's
Choreo
just
person.
he is way too damn legendary to be on there.
He would be the person that's mapping out everything. He's like, no, you're gonna go here. You're gonna go here. This is how we're gonna do this.
The first
Don't
time
give me a
in
stunt
Cobra
double.
Kai, we
I
see
do my
dudes
stunts.
just coming off the rafter, spot kick, backflip off the rafter, and then he
Slide
grabs a
through a
ladder
small-
for no
small little
reason. Now
window
he's
because
fighting
that's
with
what
the
he does.
ladder, flips it out, goes under the ladder, goes and climbs on top of the ladder, does an airdrop from the ladder, and then the ladder gets
he's-
kicked out from
and then he
under him.
always
Now he's
does-
using the towel for
like
no
when he hits
reason.
his
Now
hand or
he's
something.
fighting.
I'm still waiting for Rush Hour 4, man. I swear.
Ooh, I want to hear more on that.
They're
I
getting
know,
old,
bro.
man.
Chris Tucker
I
in
hope they
Air,
do
I was
it, but
like,
damn,
I
they're
need you
getting
back,
old.
man.
Yeah, watching it, we need both of them back, man.
No.
But yeah, those are the main kind of news points I wanted to just discuss with you guys really quick. The first trailer that we're going to review is Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese film for Apple Studios. Going to be released in theaters first in order to get the Oscars, what's the word? Approval, prerequisite, I guess you can call it, to be allowed to be accepted as one of them, one of the nominees.
We know
or
things.
considerations. Movie is, of course, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Brendan Fraser is also in it. Robert De Niro, Jesse Plemons, and the big curveball with this movie is that it is going to be 3 hours and 26 minutes. 3 hours and 26 minutes.
Kind of feels like one of those decisions where maybe they couldn't decide to make 2 films or just one. And then kind of
Well, I mean, like
put it together.
in history's
Kinda
past,
did.
like if you guys have seen The Irishman, that movie was about 3.5 as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
And
that's
that
very good.
sucker definitely could have shaved off like 45 minutes. And there was definitely directors will say there's nothing I could have cut out. Everything's important. I was like, I beg to differ on that movie, buddy. I just feel like there was a lot of fluff. You didn't
It was
need
really long, but it was really good.
It was good.
Really yeah,
I was just like, is the movie over yet?
but it's funny. I was like, now I'm thinking back to it. I'm like, I can't really remember. There probably was a lot you could have.
Meanwhile, while I watched a 4-hour Justice League film, I did not want it to end. I was
Yeah,
Right
I agree
on.
with that.
front row and center.
But I'll throw it over to you, Jalen. What did you think of the trailer? Obviously, Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese is like hand in hand together, kind of a great
Yeah.
duo.
Has to
What
be.
are your thoughts after seeing the trailer?
It's a good old period piece Oscar bait looking deal. I mean, you got a great all-star cast. I'm sure the performances are going to be lovely. I'm interested to see. I can't really tell what genre this is. But it looked said based on a true story, but it looked like it had
Yeah.
some
I,
weird spiritual
I thank
things going
goodness
on.
I am not the only
Uh,
one who was super confused by that
so
trailer.
I like cool. Looks great. Is it
Yeah.
sci-fi? Is this a fantasy story? Is it? Well, but it's based on a true story,
I
so
think it's
clearly it
based off of
happened. But
history
are they just
regarding
going
a Native American massacre.
right?
I'm
It
not
seems like
100%
it's
sure.
heading there. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think there's a
The
book
wolves thing, the
titled the
wolves
same.
theme that just kept going
Yeah.
through there. I was
How
like,
many
Yeah.
wolves can you see in this photo?
Is this
When
just
they kind of
Dances
redid
with
it, I was like,
Wolves
that was a
again? Or
nice
are we
touch.
just
that end with all the people turning, yeah, that was kind of like
Yeah.
almost super creepy because that
It
was
was weird.
yeah.
But yeah, no, it looks like a solid Oscar bait movie, and I'm sure at some point I'll watch it. The Oscar bait movies take me a while to get to because I know I have to like sit down and actually try to
Mhm.
get in a good headspace to understand what's happening. Like it took me a year to watch Guillermo del Toro with the Fish movie, whatever that one that was. After he won Best
Oh, I
Director
know what
for
you're
it.
talking about.
Way
Yeah.
of
The Way
Water.
of Water.
No.
No.
No, that's Avatar.
Something of water.
I know Avatar Way of Water.
How
That's the
dare you?
name.
Um,
Let's
something.
not. Yeah, we're gonna get caught up on the
But anyway,
That's
so it took me a
probably
while to
so
watch that
much.
movie, but then when I finally did, I was just like, oh my god, I understand why he won Best Director because like it was just the way he put that movie together from like pacing, shots, cinematography, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it eventually, but I know this is going to do wonderful at the Oscars. So
yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't think we've seen too many releases thus far in the year of um, best picture candidates, but like you said, I do think this is kind of making that run for it. Possibly getting Leo another nomination depending on his portrayal in this film. I think, from what I can tell, he is a white man in old America who married a Native American woman.
progressive, one would say.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we'll kind of see how that
And
goes.
very controversial at that time. So
Yes, as were
yeah.
many things. Keone, what were your thoughts on the trailer?
What? Yeah,
Oh,
I'm with Jay where I'm really confused at what it seems almost like it's going to be a horror film at some point in the trailer. So
It's
I'm
like kind
like
of a
really,
there will be blood kind of vibe to it.
yeah,
yeah,
actually, that's a great comparison. Yeah, I think that is exactly true. Yeah, it looks really good. I think it's one of those films like Jay said. You're gonna watch it eventually when you have 3 hours to kill or whatever, and you can really
Right.
invest time watching it. Because the trailer looked kind of confusing, but props to Leonardo. Hopefully, he gets to finally get another solid movie in there and get an Oscar again, and hopefully not, just fall by the wayside at the very last second again. I mean, who knows? I don't think we've seen any other films this year besides this. I will say though, shout out to Apple Studios just because they've been dropping banger after banger. Um, Apple TV Plus has been, you know, they've been killing it in the game as far as I'm concerned because they have so many Oscar caliber actors in there that are just making really great films. And
I definitely feel
you
like
know,
their quality is trumping
oh
their
yeah,
quantity in a good way, right?
yeah,
Like
no,
they
yeah,
put out
I
less
agree.
things, but they take their time with it, and
Hmm.
it's all meaningful. And they've made that what was the Super Bowl commercial where Timothy Chalamet
Yep.
was just like,
Hmm.
"They're doing an Apple Studio production. Why can't I do one?" I was
No,
like,
but that's
"Honestly,
really
you
it. Really
should."
is true because there's so many high caliber actors on there that are getting nominated for every damn thing. So it's just crazy to me that they keep. I mean, they have the money, so it's not like it's a
Right.
big deal for them. But yeah, you're right. I think they're doing it the perfect route where not a lot, but what they do release is so damn good. So
And I am excited to see once again Brendan Fraser back on the
oh
screen.
yeah,
I'm hope. I
hmm,
mean, you're being directed by Martin Scorsese. I'm sure your role is going to be prominent no matter how
yeah.
long you're actually on screen.
Hmm.
Robert De Niro, he always
And
brings
I'm
it.
just waiting for that George of the Jungle remake. So no, I'm just
Imagine like the next
joking.
time you see him in public, he's just like chiseled.
Yeah, it's like or Mummy 5, like just
We'll just say Mummy 3, 4, because there
4.
was.
Yeah, was it? I think there was 3 before Tom Cruise's
But I think that
disaster
was like a separate
because
kind
it
of
was
thing,
like that.
right?
Yeah,
When
hmm,
they tried to do their
lose.
dark universe, we've
yeah,
discussed that before. That
yeah,
was
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I was like, oh god,
also,
yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Jesse Plemons back on screen because I think he's been getting a lot of good supporting roles. He is married to Kirsten Dunst. He was
Oh,
in
wonderful.
what was the movie last week? The something Way of Dog? Dog? No, was that it?
So
If you see
blanking
him,
on a
you'll
great many
I was
recognize
like,
him
things.
the
immediately.
something way of dog does
No, it
not
was
sound like a movie I would want to see.
it was nominated for an Oscar like 2 years ago, or something like that. But he's been picking up. He did like a lot of smaller roles. I think he was the bully in Like Mike.
Oh, wow. Wait, he's married to Kirsten
Right,
Dunst?
if I'm thinking the right kid, yeah. I know he's been in a lot of different roles now. He's on a new show with
Like he was in that
Elizabeth
with
Olsen.
yeah, oh, that is him. Oh
Yeah,
wow, I did not know that he was married to her.
yeah.
Wow.
I don't
Shout out
remember.
to that dude. He's actually he's an underrated fantastic actor.
I know. So I mean, he maybe
He's
this is.
so
I mean, I
good.
don't know how much his role is gonna be in this one as well. But you were lined up with like
He's so
those
underrated.
other
I
three
had no idea what his name
powerhouses.
was. Jesse
Maybe he's
Plemons. Now
gonna
I
get a
know.
nom. Who
I'm
knows?
just, he should. He's
I mean, we haven't even
fantastic.
seen it, but like, he should.
Catapults into
No, I mean,
relevancy,
just in general, I forgot what. Yeah, you're right because there was a film that he did not too long
He
ago
was
where I was
nominated. I
like,
just don't remember what it was.
yeah.
Which
Even
which
in
one it
that,
was?
I think there was like that. Shoot, I want to say it was like Game Night or whatever with
Yeah, where he played the night
he
guard.
was so good. Yeah, I was like, he just that's an underrated pick right there.
Just invite me to game night next time, man.
Yeah, he was so good in that film. Yeah, he was like really funny and creepy at the same time.
um, and the next trailer, last trailer that we're going to cover for today's segment is the Five Nights at Freddy teaser. For those who are unaware, Five Nights at Freddy's is a video game,
it
kind of
is.
regarding your character being stuck in a quote unquote Chuck E. Cheese, I guess we can call it, right? I
Yep.
mean, that's the
Yep,
best way to kind of
Basically the same
yep,
thing.
compare
that's
it.
exactly what it is.
Um,
Yeah,
and
Animatronic
the robotic
things.
animals, that stay on stage and play music and sing happy birthday to you and all that good
so
stuff.
everyone's nightmare as a child.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Yeah, they all
everyone's
just
nightmare
try to
they
kill
didn't
you
realize was the
while you're
nightmare.
stuck in there.
Yeah.
Super
I was
fun game.
watching you in the ball pit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
Super
you.
fun. Yeah.
You ever had your
Um,
Chuck E.
Saw your
Cheese?
best friend's face off.
Wait, did you guys ever go to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, did you guys have the animatronic versions that were like on
I
stage
had
and
the
play
live
music?
version, and I also saw the animatronic version.
I think we just had the animatronic.
Because I was gonna say the animatronic one broke one time where it was like that, and I just remember thinking like I was so terrified as a kid, where it's like
Hello,
singing,
hello,
but it's like
hello.
ga ga ga, yeah, hell,
Kill.
that was a good one, yeah.
But it was a pretty brief teaser. Didn't give away too much. I wouldn't even say that it really gave away any real jump scares. But it is starring Josh Hutcherson. I believe that's his
Yeah.
last name.
Hey,
Um,
wonderful. Good for
Yeah,
him.
he's back in it. And this is going to be a bit of a horror movie, a thriller. It was kind of like a fun-loving vibe when I was watching the teaser. So I'm hoping they are making it a little more balls to the wall because it is a Blumhouse production. So they can do no wrong thus far with horror movies. So I'm crossing my fingers on that one. First of all, either you played the game?
No, but I did participate in viewing the playing of the games.
And
back
what
in
was
the
your take on
COVID.
that?
It was no. It's just
No, for all the right
it's just
reasons.
a big no. Yeah, I mean they got the concept of what exactly our nightmare would be getting stuck in a Chuck E. Cheese with the animatronic craziness. So I definitely can see the angle of it being a good adaptation for it. Well, technically being a video game adaptation, because it's a pretty easy plot. You plop a kid in there, and then you just put as many of the references as you can to the game, the levels, and some of the creatures can be in there the same way. It's a great fit. But at the same time, I'm just like, was anyone asking for this? Why are we trying with Five Nights at Freddy's?
Well,
Like,
Video
there's
game
other
genre is
great,
getting
like,
huge right now, man.
Like Solid
Like-
Snake would be a great adaptation
I think
game. We're
they
just
are.
like
I thought Oscar Isaac was attached to an announcement for
Solid Snake.
for Metal Gear Solid.
Son of a gun.
I
that
could
would
have
be pretty
sworn that
sick.
was a report, like maybe last
For
summer,
real?
that he was. His name was
Wow.
attached.
I mean,
That's
if
a
I see
hell
it,
of a
believe
pick.
so.
I'm in.
You guys
That's
can
a
fact check
hell
me
of
out there.
a pick.
I believe he was rumored to have been connected to that. I don't know if it's
Woo!
actually gotten anything written done. And
I'm waiting for a Splinter Cell movie, honestly, and it's funny because now saying is the train of like video game movies. We're gonna do some fan casts of video game movies eventually.
Oh yeah, but I
I
mean,
know
yeah, kind of the same way. Did we ask for this? But at the same time, if
they do it
video
right.
game adaptations are hot,
Oh yeah,
and you have Bloomhouse behind the
yeah.
helm, I
And
think
Josh
that
Hutcherson has such a good like. I always say he has like a good like scared guy face, like kind of in the same vein as like what's his name that we were talking about the last time from Dodgeball, the younger guy.
Justin Long.
Yeah, like they have like that good terrified face. Yeah, exactly. So like just I think it'll be like a good fit. Shout out to him for that little failed show that they had where it was like a video game thing that one just never took off. So
Oh,
I was like,
poor
it's
guy.
funny because I was like, I got into it and then it ended. So I was like, oh wow, here
He
we
was
go.
like one of those childhood stars that kind of grew up to get good roles, like obviously Hunger Games, but then it kind of like simmered out after that. And
It sucks because I feel like big thing about him that's not helpful is the fact that he's not big. So
it's kind of
you know what I
short.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like you have to constantly get actresses who are shorter than him, which is probably difficult.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, a movie that involves probably
bit
kids is probably the best
restricting.
choice for him then, because he can be taller than them.
Yeah, just true. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Obviously, I'm a horror guy. Like I like
Hmm.
watching horror movies in any fashion, as long as it's like tasteful. Like if you're
Did
gonna
you
give
end up
me
watching the
a
Pooh
who,
Honey Hunt,
um,
Blood and Honey? What was it called?
uh, I remember Shao put it on earlier this week, and we
Hmm.
were like just chilling in the house, and we were looking at it. He's like, "Yeah, let's change this." We just changed it to Scream Six, I think.
It was almost too bad. like,
He was like, because I was like, I think this movie made like $70,000 when during its theatrical run. He's like,
$70,000. Not
Charles like, it
even
looks like it was made for $10, so they
100,000.
probably made some money.
that's insane.
Yeah, it did not do well at all. Like I don't
That
think it broke
is
six figures.
Yeah,
awful.
but I mean, if they spent like 10,000 on it,
They,
it's like
my understanding is they spent like 2 weeks to film the movie,
wow.
and I mean,
Wow.
I'm
I mean,
I don't
even
really,
trash takes 2 weeks to film. I'm
I
pretty
really
sure
don't know if
Meg
I'm
took at
willing to
least
take
3. No, I'm
the
just
the
joking.
2 hours or so to watch it and see how bad it is.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I honestly, I was just curious. I was like, you're the
I was
only
like,
one I think would
I'll
have
take my L and
possibly
not see
watched
the
it.
I
film.
mean, we changed it to Scream Six, and that was much more delightful.
Oh, okay, good. That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
But yeah, that'll do it for the. Were you able to find anything regarding Metal Gear Solid, or were you not looking that up, Jalen?
No, I was checking emails. I'm sorry.
All right, no worries. I thought you were. I thought you were.
Had a
you were
couple
deep
come in
it.
for
I thought you were
clubs. I was
deep in
like,
it
hold
down
on.
the rabbit hole.
How
but
dare you not be
I'm
fully engaged
so
in
sorry.
this?
you were supposed to fact check us.
Yeah.
No, but the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna cover the movie Air and give you kind of a little review of it. It is based off of the true story of how Nike and the basketball division signed Michael Jordan as kind of a last-ditch effort to get back on the map in the competitive basketball shoe game. Um, Keone, Jalen, and I have all seen it. It is available on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Mhm.
Stars Ben Affleck, Matt Damon,
Which
Chris
is where I
Tucker,
watched it. Nowhere
and
else.
Chris Tucker, Viola Davis plays Michael Jordan's mom, which
Mm,
I think
freaking
I thought I
perfect
heard. If I
casting.
heard correctly, Michael Jordan specifically requested that
Yep.
Viola Davis. Yep,
Mm-hmm. You
great
did.
choice, Michael. Great choice.
Well done, Michael.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there was any. Jason Bateman is also in the movie. All
Mhm.
playing real life people, and their huge role in pretty much making Nike what it is today.
Mhm.
So I'll kind of throw it over to you first, Jalen. What were your thoughts regarding the movie? I mean, you can give a spoiler review. It's a true story, so it's
Sure, yeah.
it's not like they can't just look
spoilers,
it up.
I guess.
We
that
know what
Michael
happened.
Jordan ends
Guess
up
what?
being the
They
greatest
signed
of all
him.
time, guys. Sorry.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
no,
go
I
with
thought
Stockton.
thought the movie was great. Definitely gave me some Social Network vibes, but not as not as impactful performances. If that makes any sense? Because I think the
Yeah.
Social Network was kind of that same vibe of a true story. We all know the outcome and how things, kind of got to where they are, but I felt like the performances in that movie were why it got so many nominations and all that kind of thing. I think this was a very, very good movie. I think the performances were good, but I don't see this being like it's rumored right now because we're so early in the year, but
feel
I
like-
don't see this being a real like Oscar contender for like a best picture nom or best
That was
actor
like a coming
nomination
out
for
party
Matt
for
Damon.
Andrew Garfield and what's his name, right?
Social Network.
Yeah, it was. It
Yeah,
really
yeah,
was.
for sure.
So I think in that regard, I don't see it being that, but it is a very, very good movie. And if you like, finding out, if you're like a Nike fan and all that kind of stuff, I think it hit on a lot of issues that a lot of people didn't think about why Michael was so huge in what players are getting right now. So like, no offense, LeBum, but like you're not the GOAT because you haven't done nearly the impact on
How
not
did
only
I know Jay was gonna take it?
Oh, I'm
there,
going
too?
there because this movie, like, if you
My
need any
boy!
more convincing, like, let me know when LeBron James literally changes the structure of how NBA contracts of like, the some
Sponsorships
bonus
and all
stuff,
that, yeah.
sponsor stuff, like, and basically the global scape of basketball in general. Let me know when he does that, okay? Because he can't. The reason he can't is because Michael already did it, and he's living and reaping the benefits of such things. So
hell
that
yeah,
is
he is.
that is like where we're at.
Bro.
And I just thought it was interesting the concept of like where they were at culturally as well, because Nike was very much a white cultured brand. Meanwhile, they said it like 3 or 4 times in the film. That's why they couldn't be successful in selling their shoes to basketball players, because they didn't have black culture in their stuff. Adidas had the hip hop game. So when they got that, that's why their brand was able to explode so much, because they had, Run DMC and, all that kind of stuff. But then when Michael comes along and brings the black culture into it, now look at what Nike has. I mean, football, baseball, basketball, tennis, all this stuff they've expanded into because of Michael signing in the 80s and going from just a track shoe. Like that's all they were, was a track shoe and a running shoe. And now they are, as we know, just fucking everything. Like they're just everywhere, literally everywhere. So
I feel like 90% of the league wears Nikes now.
yeah,
I think the ending where they kind of did like the Ben Affleck, like, oh, what were you doing? Running. like at the end, it's just like it was such a good little hint at what they were before. Yeah.
And it was so funny seeing Ben Affleck kind of like that woo-sa kind of
Yeah,
character
yeah,
instead of
yeah.
like what are you talking? Like he was kind of agitated, but he was like doing all these meditation things and like saying all these euphemisms and random analogies. I was like, come on, man.
Very, very like hippie California like vibe for him too. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was a fantastic little narrative. I'm not sure, obviously, how much they adapted, how much was,
Yeah, how
really
much of it is
going
really
on,
exaggerated and liberties.
It was great though. Yeah, it was a great time.
Keone, I'll roll it over to you. What did you think of the movie? I know obviously you are our, MJ fan here, Bulls through and through.
I mean, we both are.
Yeah,
that guy too. Yeah.
But who talks about it more, huh?
Well, when we get to that Le Bum discussion, it'll definitely come out more. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I love these films.
Sorry, it just kind of crept up on me there. Whoops.
I mean, I love the. I can't. I was like, you're about to send me on a tangent, and I had to stop. I'll just say, like, I love these kind of films where they do show like the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Because like the story, the eventual outcome, but you're not really sure of like the journey to get there. And I thought that was a super interesting deal because, like, I obviously the exaggeration stuff aside, like if any of like the stuff like with Matt Damon's character, whose name I'm blanking on right now, did actually occur with the mother, like that whole like this is exactly how the meetings are going to go, and describing like the Adidas and the like. I thought that would be like freaking phenomenal salesmanship. Like if this dude really did like go to the mom, like I'm sure he actually went to see the mom, but I was like, if he did that and was able to like undercut the competition and get it so that she's like on board with it, like I think that was like,
I mean, in my head, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, was this like a liberty that they just took in the movie for the drama, or was this something
I don't
that maybe
think it was, because I do think that I do think that maybe not exactly like, oh, he's going to tell you exactly, but like I do think that he had to have done something because I mean the rumors were true, like all that stuff about Michael Jordan really wanting to sign with Adidas, that was like a huge backstory. And I read his like autobiography book that he wrote like a long time ago, and there was mention of that kind of stuff, but it wasn't like super detailed.
Yeah.
And I just think like like the way that the whole thing played out was like super fantastic. Also very lucky that they found a guy who was so like one the greatest player of all time, but two, just like for him to have that mentality to think so far ahead, along with his mother, to be like, this is where this market is going to go, and I'm going to be the one that takes it there. And I think that was just the foresight, man. Like to think that far ahead and do that kind of stuff, like it's just insanity. Because yeah, like I think even Charles Barkley came out recently and was talking about how Michael Jordan basically saved his career as far as like money, because he was kind of blowing his money and he was going to take like these short-term deals, and then Michael was like, no, you should ask for equity and get
Yep,
get
yep.
paid for life instead of just like taking the lump sum right off the rip. And he
Businessman.
said literally, yeah, literally just now that's exactly how Charles Barkley still continues to make money alongside Michael Jordan. And I think he was the guy who basically turned athletes into like they themselves are like assets. Like it's not just like, oh, I'm a player and the
I'm
NBA
gonna
is like the
represent Nike.
yeah, exactly. Like it's literally like now I'm the star. What can you offer me kind of deal. And I think, yeah, I mean, what he was able to do for the game, what this whole entire movie showed, it's amazing, man. So, like I think Jay said, this is a great watch for people who are sports fanatics like us. It's definitely not going to be like I wouldn't say it's not going to be an Oscar contender, because I'm sure they'll probably try to pump it up as one because it reviewed so well. But I will say, yeah, I mean, definitely like a movie like Social Network definitely had better
Possibly,
performances.
I said possibly. I mean, just as it lays now,
Hmm.
possibly Matt Damon, Best Actor nom.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I
think
could see
that
that for
I
sure.
was thinking like as I was
Yeah.
watching the movie, I was like, good
Hmm.
performances, kind of a typical Matt Damon stuff. And then
Yeah.
that last speech
Hmm.
at the conference table, I was like, all right,
Oh,
there it goes,
yeah.
there it goes. That's the
Also,
one.
I think was it his mom? No, I forgot who. It was like a representative from Michael's whatever group or whatever. Basically confirmed that not exact words, but majority of what was said during that speech was very on point with what was actually said in person. So, I mean, shout out to that dude in real life, and shout out to this movie and Matt Damon's performance of it. So,
And the good thing is, I guarantee, just because it is Michael Jordan and who he
hmm.
is, he probably like watched the movie for early screening and was like
Oh
this,
yeah,
or looked at the script, was like this didn't
yeah,
happen. Like I'm not gonna lie
yeah,
about my. I mean, even
hmm,
the movie wasn't necessarily Michael centric,
yeah,
but like if the surrounding details of all of it,
yeah.
I'm sure he had his hand in the cookie jar with that.
Viola Davis was freaking perfect too, just
Yeah,
perfect, like unreal for that part too. So.
I think
200 million a year also is
400,
ridiculous. Or 400, yeah, you're right. I was like,
even
400
worse,
million a year
more than
is
any of the NBA players
insane.
will ever make.
Them Jordan 1s literally changed shoe culture. So it's
Right?
insane how much money
Have you
that
ever been
thing
able to see like
continues to
one
make.
of the his band colorway around?
Wait, his Banned
Yeah.
colorway? Gotcha. I was like, he had a band. Just,
So like no,
it's
it
like,
was like banned from the NBA because it was all red and black of the Nike Air Jordan 1.
oh, I've
And
never seen
because
that
like
one.
the NBA was like, no, there's no white in it, it's
See,
banned. I think he wore it one
that is
game and they fined
that
him
is
and told him
something
to
I'm
change it.
slowly getting into, but I'm not gotten into shoe cultures. It's so huge. So
It's expensive because it's banned. So
I just love that they just had that innovation of like, what if we just pay the fucking fine? How stupid are you?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
that
mean?
yeah,
Like it's such a like,
insane, man.
okay, okay, whatever.
I
We're
also
gonna.
wonder if they dropped it in the meeting like how it did in the movie, because it was just like, and we're paying the fines after we're also giving him our whole budget. Yeah, okay. Like Ben
ah,
Affleck kind of had like a moment where he's like, "What?" like,
He said,
Michael
huh?
Jordan's in the room. I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, we're
it's
gonna
like
pay the
five
fines.
thousand a game. I
What
was
the?
like, oh, I know that was insane, man.
Also shout out to the guy who played was it Peter?
Yeah.
The
Hmm.
guy who makes the shoes. I have a dream. I can't even do the his like list thingy
It's
that
so
he's got going
great.
on.
Yeah.
I dream about truth all the time.
It's funny
I was like,
because he's in a show on Apple TV Plus, and he's fantastic in
does
it.
he
So
have
that's
the
another
list
guy.
normally?
Yeah, he actually has like what
The
they call it,
cliff,
hair
the
lip
cliff flip. Yeah.
clef. Yeah, like cleft lip.
I
Yeah,
just wasn't
I
sure
was
if that
like,
was like something from the actual person he was portraying
yeah,
or not.
no,
But
I'm sure it. it helped enhance, but I don't think it was meant to be the character itself.
Air Jordan.
Yeah,
I was
yeah. I
like,
was like, even the name. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of
Also,
dope. I
did
like,
you?
okay,
I
Jordan.
was dying the whole time. Falk was on the phone with Matt Damon. I
Oh
will
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
you. I will eat your nuts. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Shout out
Yeah,
to
dude.
that dude too. I
That
think he came
agent
from that
was something else. He
the Mindy
was.
Kaling show. I think he was where he was from, and yeah, he's
Uh,
good, but he's
he
just
was going crazy, and then he said, "If you convince mom, we'll be best friends." I was like, "What?
I know.
What is going
Uh,
on?"
I'm sure that's like conversation all the time. Like it's funny how they like pretend like everything's super professional and like negotiations and stuff, but I'm sure that kind of stuff happens like behind the scenes
You
for any
fucking
draft or
a-hole.
yeah,
We
exactly.
saw him for dinner next week. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Any last thoughts regarding Air, the Michael Jordan signing with Nike story?
Go see it.
Go watch it.
Go
Yeah,
see
watch
it.
it right
Easy
now.
watch. It's a very easy watch. You don't have to be
Mhm.
too invested. Obviously, like heating up dinner, cook dinner, pop it
Mhm.
on. Great watch. Um, the next thing that we're going to cover, and I know Keone and I have seen it, Jalen has not yet had the opportunity, is
Mhm.
the remake that was released on Hulu.
Mhm.
White Men Can't Jump, starring Jack Harlow and I'm going to butcher his name, so I'm not going to
You're
say
the
it.
guy. I was like,
S-
this is your job.
Sinoke Walls.
Did you say Snoke Walls? What are we in
It's
Star
S I
Wars
N.
episode?
You know what? Jalen, you can
Si
look it up
what?
as we talk about it, right? But yeah, the movie released on Hulu this week, I believe. Pretty much kind of the same underlying tone of the original with Woody Harrelson and Wesley
Mhm.
Snipes. But I'll start off with you, Keone. What were your pleasant similarities to the original and your impressed changes that they made?
I was firmly against them remaking this film
Me too.
because
I think we all kind of were like, eh.
yeah, I was a little worried. But I mean, shout out to Jack Harlow
I
because
know, right?
to follow Woody Harrelson and then like have to do the whole like smooth talker, like he was really good in the
It was
like,
really good.
yeah,
It's funny if
I
you've
gotta
ever
give him
actually
some
watched his
props.
interviews. He kind of has that
Oh, he talks exactly like that.
yeah, that
Yeah,
smooth kind of. But I was like, for someone who's not an actor, you did pretty
yeah.
damn good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he really basically just had to act like himself.
Yeah,
So, I mean, probably put him in another movie. He's probably not going to be as great. But yeah, for what he was in this film, like kind of being like almost like a hippie white dude that like follows all the tropes of like a California white guy, like
get
deal.
money
Like I
quick
thought,
schemes.
yeah, it's just I thought it was so good that, like that he was like vegan and all these other things that are like more new world stuff that like or new age stuff that I think is like
All the TikTok
uh,
dances.
yeah, it was really funny. But I got to give him props, man, because throughout the entire film, I really thought putting him so centric as a character to the film was going to hurt the film, but it honestly it actually enhanced it because he was so funny and witty throughout the whole thing, and they did it in such a way where it was similar to the old one because obviously Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes had like fantastic banter, but it was different in that same way because they changed like what the story ended up being
Yeah,
kind of about. And like how it ended up playing out. I will say my biggest complaint with the film was just like, more basketball. Maybe add like 10 minutes of like some role because there was like moments I think like the very end where they kind of get to the last tournament deal where it just seemed like it went from like let's start the tournament to like it's over. I'm like, oh wow, there was no build
well,
up,
they were
nothing, and
just
just
little
like
clips of
and
different
we're
jerseys
done.
you're
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
with.
I was just like, wow, that was really really quick. And they kind of I thought one weird little deal was that they didn't bring back the team from the first initial tournament. I thought they would like see them again in the finale of but yeah, that was weird that they
My
just kind of
interpretation was that the friends won the tournament, which is why they were able to get the entry to the Lamont tournament. Because remember, they said the winners of that 2-on-2 tournament would get entry into the 3-on-3 tournament.
but the girlfriend was the one that gave most of the money for that one.
No, the girlfriend gave most of the money for the
Big one. Yeah.
2v2. Remember, she's
No,
like,
no, she gave it for the 3v3. Remember, they were like all in the hospital together with the friends.
"You
And,
right, you right."
yeah, that's why I was like, I don't think they won. I think it was like
Oh,
the
you
white
right.
guy
Oh,
team.
that's
Yeah,
true.
I don't know. Either way, like I was like, I mean, they were a lot better together than I thought they would be. Obviously, it's not going to trump the original. The original when you got Woody Harrelson and Wesley
Timeless.
Snipes.
Right.
It was a
Yeah,
timeless
at the
movie.
peak of their power, nonetheless.
Billy.
Like I think, yeah, yeah. That's I will say, like there was some moments that they threw back. Like there was that moment I think when he was driving the car and she was like getting on top of him. That was from the original film with the Wesley Snipes deal. Or sorry, excuse me, with Woody Harrelson's character. So I thought it was interesting that they did like a little moments like that
The
were like
random
similar
twist
to.
where, like in the original, I was like, "I'm gonna go get my car. I go to my car, get my gun, shoot all you motherfuckers." But in this one, it's like,
yeah.
"Oh, he got a flamethrower." Like, what?
Yeah.
It's the middle of LA. He got a
Yeah.
flamethrower.
Yeah,
It
like
was
stuff
so
like that.
random. It's
Yeah,
like,
it was super funny that it's funny because like I you're always gonna throw it back to the original, but for what it was a great watch. I think as a basketball fan, if you like enjoy these kind of basketball films, definitely go check it out. And then I will also say if they ever do some kind of biopic for Dwayne Wade, that dude looks freaking spot on as a younger Dwayne Wade.
so I
Like I
looked
was
it
just
up.
like
His name is Sinqua.
Yeah, Sinqua Wells.
Sinqua Walls,
Sinqua Wells.
and he was
Wells.
a
Wells.
and was a college ball player, so he does have that kind of background as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, it
Again,
definitely
Which made sense.
showed.
Where is the volleyball movie, people? These actors exist. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right.
You can do a remake of
100%.
Side Out, update it just like this, but it will be literally a better movie because that movie was awful. So here
And
we
we
go.
don't need a theatrical release. You can just put
You
it on
get the
streaming.
McKibbins in there, you get the Crab, you get the McKibbins, you get the Taylors, you get some of these big ones from current AVP. It's a fucking whole, bro. Come on, give me a couple months vacation. I'll write the script. We'll do the screenplay.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm just saying that'd be
Also,
fantastic.
shout out to Lance Reddick once again.
I know, and then of course,
Down.
Great
I mean,
performance.
are we spoiling? Is that what I was like? Are we like spoiling?
No!
We're not spoiling.
Well, I mean, you kind of give a lot away just by going, "Are we spoiling?" Like, but he performed
right.
great as Kamal's dad,
Yes.
and Teyana Taylor plays his wife. For those who don't know, she is the wife of Iman Shumpert.
Mhm.
And yeah, I can definitely tell Jack Harlow did some like private one-on-one trainings because his
Yeah.
look on how he played in the All-Star Celebrity Game to the movie, I was like, yeah, you definitely been working with someone because your shot looked ugly before.
Yeah. I'm also gonna say too. I was like, was not feeling his girlfriend's performance in the film.
Gotcha.
It's funny because I thought back to like Spider-Man, and I was just like, thank goodness they went with Zendaya over this girl because she was horrible in this film. And I just kept thinking, like, gosh, if they tried to spark that love interest for the Spider-Man verse, like, yeah, she was not.
I'm not
good,
100% sure if she still is, but I think she's dating Clay Thompson.
Nice.
Interesting.
Good for
She
you,
either
Clay.
was or is, but one
Yeah.
of those.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a great movie. I did enjoy the kind of updated twist they put on it.
Mhm.
The one thing I did have a gripe with, and this may be just very petty, but it seems like it would have been relevant. To the best of my knowledge, they didn't really make any kind of like argument about him not being able to jump and dunk like they did with Woody Harrelson in the original.
Like
That was like
literally
a
the whole reason
whole
the movie's called White
scene.
Man,
White Man
Can't,
Can't
Jump.
Jump, right?
Yeah.
And
When he
apparently-
busted it out, it was just kind of out of nowhere, and they didn't make any
according
big
to
deal
I think
about
I was looking at an article, it really was him who was able to do that little drop step. I was like, good for you, Jack Harlow.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like if the movie is gonna have the same title, you might as well have the same reason for why.
Well,
I
you
said,
at least
there was
gotta
a-
have the scene, like at a minimum, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
you gotta have
Yeah.
that scene in there. That's the whole. That's the culmination of like the tension
entire
between this,
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
like whole. You know what I mean? Like if that scene's
The whole
not in
thing,
there,
the
then what
whole
are we
movie
watching?
kind of had like little misses like that, where like there were a lot of plot holes that, like I said, 15 more minutes of film probably would have helped with.
Yeah.
They just seemed to be like rushing through the film, so I mean, even like little things with like Lance Reddick and the main guy, whose name you just said, and I already forgot.
Kamal.
Yeah, they could have fleshed that out a little more, especially as they got to the end and all that kind of stuff. But there was, it just didn't really hit because they were kind of missing those little
Yeah.
moments in between.
There were some emotional moments that just were just on the verge of, really hitting.
Yeah, they didn't hit. Yeah, for me,
Not quite, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, pretty fun watch. Absolutely, if you've seen the original, I don't think this is gonna hurt your viewing of the original. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. You still got the original to go back to.
Exactly.
But I do think it was a fun little twist. It isn't like a copy and paste of the original, so it brings a little freshness to it. You have these individuals with their own kind of personal issues, as many movies do. And basketball is a way of life for a lot of people, like us here, and volleyball. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's segment of post credits. Boys, do you have anything you want to say to the crowd before I get going with your socials?
Yeah. No, have a great Sunday, everybody. Well, I mean, whenever this drive,
And I was like, have a great Wednesday.
Won't be Sunday when this drops, but
Friday.
Friday. Have a great Friday. I hope your Friday's been wonderful. I hope that it continues to be delicious if you're listening to this. And good vibes, everyone. Everyone sees a lot of loves here. Yeah.
Jalen, let them know where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on Instagram by Jalen, Twitter at Jalen Holston, and Twitch at Mogathanos_LGG. That's all the things.
He said under the score.
Under the score.
Under the score.
Yeah.
Shut up, you fucker. Okay.
That's one accent you still gotta work on. But I think, it's always super funny. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at K-Only. It's KAYOHKNEE.
And you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at NolanKYT, NOLANKYT. Also, give our Instagram page for the podcast, the Poi and Soy Podcast, where we're dropping reels every week for each segment that we're dropping. Coming out with a lot of good stuff. So give us a like, give us a listen, give us a subscription, all that good stuff. But other than that, thank you guys for making us a part of your day. We enjoyed having you be a part of ours. From all of us here at Poi and Soy, good vibes and love, everybody.
Bang, bang.